Charlie Manson.
Charlie Manson.
Now, this guy shows up from Northern California, right?
Well, he had been doing time in
Right.
Terminal Island in San Pedro, and then when he was released, he first went to San Francisco and made the scene up there, and then, took his little magic bus and some of his followers and migrated down to LA, and very quickly managed to integrate himself into the scene and be accepted by a lot of these people, although after the arrest, they just couldn't distance himself quickly enough from him. But there are quotes in the book from the era of people who just were singing his praises left and right. I mean, Neil Young just talked about him like he was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys was a huge fan and
provided shelter.
The Mamas and the Papas were very close, and both John Phillips and Mama Cass were very closely connected, so close that they were on the initial witness list to be called as witnesses at the Manson trials, but were never called and managed to keep their names out of the press for the most part. So most people don't even realize that they were so close. They were close enough that they were actually included as witnesses. So yeah, he was very close to, as were other members of his family, of the Manson family. Bobby Beausoleil, one of his top lieutenants.
Played in Love, right?
Yeah, he was actually one of the rhythm guitarists for the what would become Love. They were Grassroots at the time, and then they changed their name to Love, and right behind us here. And he was one of the original. There were two rhythm guitarists initially, Brian McLean and Bobby Beausoleil, and Bobby ended up getting cut in favor of guy whose name I already forgot, even though I just said it. But one of the main reasons that he was cut in favor of Brian McLean, is because Brian McLean had a very close relationship with Vito Paulekas and the Paulekas crew, and so the band realized that they could use them to draw the crowds and build a name for themselves.
There you go.
So otherwise, Bobby Beausoleil might have stuck with him and carried on as a member of the band. So. Yeah, the Manson family was very, very tightly integrated into that whole musical scene, and accepted as a peer, accepted as a fellow singer. I mean, Dennis Wilson, the Beach Boys stole one of his songs and retitled it and released it. So.
And Guns N' Roses did one of his songs in the '90s. I am not part of Team Manson at all. I could never understand people, young girls especially, wearing the Manson T-shirts and stuff in the '80s and '90s. Like, I was not down with that at all.
A lot of the '90s bands were. Yeah, Axl Rose used to wear his T-shirts some of the who was it? Trent Reznor, 9 Inch Nails, recorded the Downward Spiral in the Death House because he wanted to get the right vibe for the record or something.
Dave, I'm not really down with serial killers.